Well, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Amazing Seller Podcast. This is episode number 706 and session number 222 of Ask Scott. This is where I answer your questions here on the podcast, and I'm going to do it again here today. And today's question, I'll give it right to you right now, is going to be, how can I use content or this content strategy in a novelty business? It's a great question. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to give you two different ways that you can do it if you're in a novelty business. And what I mean by a novelty business, and we'll talk a little bit more about this, is just one-off type products that relate to a certain market that could be funny, that could be something that says that you're a huge fan of this thing, right? That's what we're talking about. Something that doesn't necessarily have a use other than, and those were air quotes, by the way, other than just to show off that your coffee mug has a certain thing on there that says that you're the biggest bass fisherman that lived or something like that. You get what I'm saying, right? So anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about because it does seem like that would be kind of hard, right? Well, let's talk about it. I'm going to give you a couple of different strategies that you can use content to grow your novelty business if you have one. All right. So before we do jump into that, I did want to remind you, if you have a question that you want me to answer on an upcoming Ask Scott session, all you have to do is head over to theamazingseller.com/ask. And you can do it right there. All right. The other places you can do that is pretty much anywhere that I'm on social. You can do it on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, by the way. If you want to go over there and look me up, it's just Scott Volker and you'll find me over there. And from there, you can DM me if you have a question, or you can ask it there on one of the other posts that I have. YouTube, you can go over to the YouTube channel, Facebook, wherever. Today, I'm actually going to be answering this one from YouTube. So I'll just be kind of diving right into this question. All right. Now, before we do jump into that, I did want to remind you of something that's coming up here relatively soon, depending on when you're listening to this. And what I'm talking about is Brand Accelerator Live. It is coming. I'm excited. I am nervous because it's my first ever live event, but I am nervous in all the right reasons. It's just going to be a great event. I just want to really get there, make it happen, and make this thing the best event anyone has ever attended. And so just want to remind you, if you're not already attending, you probably want to grab your ticket if they're even available. And you can head over to brandacceleratorlive.com. We are keeping it small. It's not one of these massive events that has thousands of people. It's going to be small. So this way here, we can all hang out, but we can also learn together. And I've got some crazy speakers coming. One of them being Pat Flynn, by the way, from Smart Passive Income, someone that I've been following for years. And he's also a good friend of mine now. I'm actually part of his accelerator program. So we become really good friends. And I was really excited when he agreed to come and speak at Brand Accelerator Live. Really excited about that. Well, for a couple of different reasons. Number one, he's a mentor of mine. So to be able to share this where I'm having my first ever event, and actually it's funny, he's having his first ever event. Actually, he had his first ever event by the time that I'm recording this. It's going to be happening. He's having it at the end of July. You're listening to this in August. So the event has happened and it's gone by, and I'm sure it was a huge success. I will be there, so I'll probably give you guys a little bit of a play-by-play on my Instagram, so you guys can check that out, or maybe over on Facebook. But going back to Brand Accelerator Live, there's a lot of great speakers there, and the cool thing is we're making it so all the speakers are not just speakers, they're also attendees, and they will be hanging out with all of the other attendees, being able to mingle, for you guys to walk up, ask questions, and really get to know them as well. And that's really what I wanted here. I didn't want these speakers that you're paying $50,000, $60,000 for to come in to try to draw the crowd, right? And that's why we're keeping it small, intimate, but really action-packed. And what I mean by that is you're going to be there to learn. And we're really structuring this thing to do exactly what the name says. Accelerate your brand. Brand Accelerator Live. Get it? Right? So if you are interested in joining us at this first time ever live event, where we're going to be there focusing on building brands that are future-proof, that can really dominate Amazon or any other channel that you want to dominate in your market, how to get floods of traffic on Google, on YouTube, or just on social media in general, or building that email list and getting the attention through that and cultivating that audience. So this way here, they know, like, and trust you, and they're going to buy from you time and time again. Actually, Pat Flynn is going to be speaking all about how to create super fans in your business. He just wrote a book on it, and he's going to be diving deep into that topic. And all of the sessions have been, or pretty much all of the sessions have been publicly put out there on the page of Brand Accelerator Live. So if you haven't grabbed your ticket, definitely go grab your ticket at brandacceleratorlive.com. Or if you want to just go see what the lineup is of all the speakers and the sessions that are going to be going down, head over to brandacceleratorlive.com. You can get all the information over there. And while you're there, grab a ticket. We'd love to have you. All right. So my thoughts of the week, real quick. This one's going to be real quick, and then we're going to dive right into the question. Okay. And I got literally before I got on here, I had a message in Instagram, and it was a comment on one of the posts, and it said, Scott, I just want to let you know that I really appreciate the content that you put out on a regular basis and how you always keep me energized and really giving me confidence to keep going out there when times get tough. And it seems like you are showing up at all the right times. And, that stuff right there, that means the world to me. That means the world to me because, here you got a guy, right, that came from the construction background years ago when I first got married, and to think that I can have just a little bit of an impact on someone else's life, like that's just amazing, right, to me. So I just want to say, you never know what your business will do for someone else. And I want you to always remember that there's a person on the other side of that transaction. All right. And if you think about that, and if you take that in everything that you do, your business will grow. I promise you. It's always about thinking about the market and what they want and what they need, and then delivering it to them, and then over delivering it to them. I mean, heck, I've been doing this podcast now for 4 years, over 700 episodes. I've never missed an episode Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. And, have I thought about like maybe scaling back a little bit and not doing 3 shows? Yeah, I have. To be honest with you, it's a lot of work, right? But I know that people are depending on the show, and not always for just the content, but it's for Scott showing up and being there in the car. I had a guy just message me. He's actually part of our Ecom Business Formula course and our TAS Breakthrough U community, and he was telling me that he drives 90 minutes one way to work. And he looks forward to this, and this is what gets him through the day and also continues to get him to think outside the box. Like stuff like that, crazy. That stuff right there is what drives me and what motivates me to keep showing up. So when I feel like, I'm kind of burnt out, I got 100 different things going on, the one thing I never miss is these 3 episodes, because I know that there's some of you that are looking forward to them and you need them, and I want to be there for you. So you need to also think about your customers, your business. How can you show up and deliver to those people and give them something? I don't care if it's bass fishing or if it's crocheting or cooking a better meal, whatever it is. You're showing up and you're changing someone's day or their experience for the better, right? Even if it's just solving a problem, you're doing something for them. So just remember that, okay? There's people on the other side of that transaction or on the other side of that email. So don't forget that, all right? So with that all being said, if we're all ready to go, I think we're ready to go now. Let's talk about this question that came in. How can I use content, and how can I use this content strategy rather, in a novelty business? All right. So I've got a couple of different ways, and I'm going to go through them right now, and we're going to talk about this. Okay. So here's the first thing that I want you to understand. When you're in a novelty business, for the most part, you're just throwing different things out there of all different kinds of products, and it's not really focusing on a market or a niche. So the first place that I would start is I would try to narrow in your novelty business into a certain niche. All right. So if you're selling t-shirts and mugs and cups and pens and whatever, the coolies for your, or koozies, whatever it is for your beer, whatever it is, right? Bracelets, whatever it is. If you can target that, okay, towards that market, okay, you're gonna deliver more, to that niche or whatever. You're going to be able to deliver more targeted. And then this way here, there's a bigger chance of them buying something else, because if they bought the t-shirt, they might want to buy a hat. And if they buy the hat, they might want to buy the shirt, or maybe then they also want to add in the beer sleeve, right? Or maybe they want to add the bracelet. So you can increase your cart value very easy, okay, by doing that. But how do you actually create content around a business like that, okay? Here's what I would do, okay? If I was going to go after this, and I have more thoughts on what I would probably do, not just even this, but I would go a little step further, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But what I would do is I would start to create content around that market. Okay. So I would think about how can I deliver to that market? Okay. Even though you're selling a novelty thing, and the novelty thing doesn't necessarily mean it's like a funny novelty thing. I mean, that's part of it, but it could just be, if you're selling a t-shirt, it's going to have something about fishing on it because you're reaching the fishing market, right? Well, the content would naturally be about fishing, right? So I would start creating content to help that fisherman or the bass fisherman catch more bass. So this way here, I could sell the t-shirt. Now, if you are already currently selling bass fishing gear, you might want to add some novelty stuff to it. So just a little side note there, right? So I would start going on that angle. I would start building out content that could help the market, and then the novelty, the stuff I could put in front of those people. You see where I'm going with that? All right. Same thing if you're in cooking. Let's say that you're into a certain style of cooking or whatever, and you're selling novelty items for like aprons and different oven mitts or whatever, right? Well, maybe you create content in that market around cooking, right? What about if you're into maybe your niche is pet snakes? All right. Well, you have novelty items, with snakes on the front and, maybe some cool sayings or whatever, or maybe it's the mug, or maybe it's, something for the thing that you keep it in, the glass square thing. What's it called? The aquarium type thing, right? Maybe that's it. Maybe you have something that goes on that, or something that dresses that up. That's a novelty item off of it, but you would create content around pet snakes. Or maybe you're going to have a collection of pet snake pictures that your customers submit in. And now you're going to have people that are going to come over and they're going to want to see their setups. And, and because people are intrigued by that because it's their market, right? So you see what I'm doing? I'm bringing attention to the market by content that they can consume. And then the byproduct of that is they're going to see your novelty items. Okay. So that's one way, okay, that you could do it. Now, the other way that you could do it is you could reach out to other influencers that have already done that. All right. You can reach out to a very popular fishing blog and reach out to that owner and say, hey, I'd like to create some novelty items for your market. What do they like? What would they want to buy? And then you could partner up with them. Maybe you have a car restoration channel. And then you're going to have a lot of them. Maybe it's a big giant motor on the front and it has a cool saying on it. And that's for the car restoration channel. That guy's built up, or girl has built up, a car restoration channel on YouTube. They've got 100,000 subscribers and every video gets 10,000 views. Maybe you create some novelty items for them, right? Or maybe it's a fitness channel. Now it's all about, maybe it's women's, fitness channel, where then you're going to have like some cool sayings for the women. Woman boss or something, right? Like, any of that stuff for that influencer would be awesome. And they probably don't want the hassle with it. So maybe you don't create the content, you partner with someone that does. So that's like my top level thoughts right there. That's what I would be thinking. But really, more importantly, what I would be thinking is, how do I not just be a novelty item business, right? How could I create the content and build this home base around the fishing niche? How can I do that and then add novelty items, but also add physical items or digital items or maybe affiliate offers? That's really what I would be thinking about doing, and not just I'm in the novelty business. So I would try to start pivoting away from that a little bit. That's just what I would do. Again, I don't know your current situation. Maybe you have a different model. Don't know. I'm just kind of going off of if it was like the person selling like the novelty stuff, like, the hats and the shirts and maybe the shorts and I don't know, a belt, maybe you're into something with horses and you have like certain belt buckles or something. I don't know. throwing ideas out there, right? But that's what I would say to do if you are in a novelty business. So just a few things to think about. Hopefully this has helped you. And regardless, I think content is the way to go. And I think that if you're not adding a content strategy to your business, you really should. Because I think that getting content out there is going to attract the right people. And then once you attract the right people, you can then figure out other ways to bring in revenue, not just how to sell your one-off product. Okay, so that's what I would do. Again, this is exactly what we're talking about, just a lot deeper at Brand Accelerator Live. So again, if you are interested in this type of discussion and really learning more about how to do this effectively, I've got one speaker who's coming, Alex, who runs the second highest trafficked travel fashion blog, or it's a travel blog in the world. Second, okay? And she's going to be there speaking and breaking it all down and really teaching how you can do it from scratch, all right? And how you can just blow up your brand. Yes, it's going to take some time, but you can shortcut it when you learn from someone like her. And she doesn't teach this outside of just speaking like this, so it's kind of like a one-off thing. So one reason why you want to be there is to meet people like her and learn from people like her that have done it, and they've grown this huge empire around content and list building. And then physical product came later. And it's just pretty awesome. So anyway, brandacceleratorlive.com. Grab your ticket if you haven't done so already. If they're still available, go over and check out all of the speakers and also all of the sessions. Most of them are published right now, and you can see exactly what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be learning at Brand Accelerator Live. So guys, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, remember, I'm here for you. I believe in you, and I am rooting for you. But you have to. Come on, say it with me. Say it loud. Say it proud. Take action. Have an awesome, amazing day, and I'll see you right back here on the next episode.